All right, we're back on the Fort Show. We are joined, very special this evening, two special guests. They're collectively known as Bad Influence for Impact Wrestling, Christopher Daniels and Kaz. Christopher Daniels, how you doing tonight?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Oh, hanging in there. Loving the, finally, Chicago's weather is coming along nicely here. Kaz, how are you this evening?
I'm also a big fan of your family. I love Gerald Ford. I love Harrison Ford. I love Ford Fairlane, so I can't wait to be on your show. Awesome.
That's fantastic. Thank you. I will let them all know.
I'm doing well, and I have a personal relationship with Betty Ford, if you know what I mean.
Oh, nice.
So we're off on the right foot.
Beautiful.
Yep.
All right, so
we're all ready to go.
All right, let's first the Bad Influence. Was that something a name you guys came up with, or is that an office thing? I've always wanted to know.
An office thing. You mean like Steve Carell? No.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely not an office thing. That's right from our noggins. Like 100% of the stuff you see on television, that's right from Chris Daniels and Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah, that's it seems like you guys over there in Impact Wrestling have a little more. You guys have a little more freedom because that's what it kind of seems like.
I think the truth of the matter is Frankie and I, we sort of do our own thing and then we pay the price if it fails. It just hasn't happened yet. So.
Nice.
Right, and I think certain people are maybe better led, or certain people are better when they're, perhaps reading from a page, and certain people aren't. So I guess it depends on the individual.
So this Sunday is Slammiversary in Boston. I was at that first Impact when you guys were here in Chicago, well, a suburb of Chicago. I was at that first Impact. How was it like for to take the show on the road? Daniels, we'll start with you.
It's been great, man. Like we've always known, like when we take our pay-per-views on the road, when we had traveled, and the one most recently that I recall was going to Slammiversary last year when we were in Arlington, Texas. We knew it was great. It was a full house, and we knocked one out of the park. And so now we're in the situation where we're doing that every other week. And, we're getting to be in front of new fans every week and taking it on the road. And that's really how you experience professional wrestling at its best is live. And so being in front of these fans and having the television cameras there to sort of record their excitement in seeing us and our increased energy with having a crowd that's really into what they're watching, I think it's been beneficial for the product so far.
Kaz, you?
Ditto, basically, and that first Impact on the road was in Chicago, like we said, and we kicked it off with a boom, the Legion of Boom, and that's just what people, we wanted to set the tone for what people can expect from not only Bad Influence but Impact Wrestling as a company, being on the road, and just the energy that we collectively as a roster are going to bring each and every week.
So this Sunday, you guys are in a four corners elimination tag team match for the championship, for the tag titles. Who's the weakest link on that tag team match? Is it Storm and Gunner? Because they haven't, to my knowledge, they haven't really been a tag team all that much. So
I would say Storm and Gunner, simply because James Storm got hurt reffing a match recently. And Earl Hebner has refereed matches for 78 years, and I don't recall him ever getting hurt. And Gunner is, he's big and bad. He's mean. He's definitely got a lot to prove. I think he even maybe has a bit of a chip on his shoulder, and very formidable. But they are lacking experience. And let's face it, you need that when it comes to tag team wrestling. And that's what Chris Daniels and I have.
If you had to pick one tag team, and Daniels, will start with you, out of the other three that are in that match that you had to work with for the rest of your career, which one would it be?
I'd have to say Austin and Bobby. I think that they're definitely a challenge to wrestle against. And, the few times that Frankie and I have teamed with Bobby, we know how good of a wrestler he can be. Both of them. I mean, they're former world champions, so their resume speaks for themselves. But with them as a tag team, I don't think it's the best use of their talents, but that's the choice that they made to become a tag team and sort of stick their nose into our playground. And this Sunday we're going to show them why we're the better team. We're the forerunners of the tag team division, in Impact Wrestling right now, and the other three teams are just playing catch up.
Kaz, you?
Same, definitely. Austin Aries and Bobby Roode, just because they just what they bring to the table. With no disrespect to the other teams involved, because they're all fantastic teams, and they're all in the main tag team match on the pay-per-view. But those two guys, I think, more so than any of the other teams, mirror what Chris Daniels and myself do as athletes and as pro wrestlers and as entertainers. And they're both very successful. They're both former world champions, and I think that would be the best match for us in terms of if we had to pick one team.
Allow me to veer off script a little bit. Do you think that Austin Aries situation was blown out of proportion from a couple of weeks ago, Daniels?
Yes. I'll go ahead, Stevie.
I didn't take it. I didn't look at it when I saw it. I didn't really take it for what everybody made it out to be. But I mean, the truth of the matter is, if that's how Christy felt, then I respect that that's how she felt. I don't think that's how it was intended, but that's just my opinion. It's not up to me to say what should be done about it. It's just I see how it happened, and I can see where it was misconstrued. And, it's not really my business. So I'm going to let the company and the people involved take care of it the way they feel they should.
Kaz, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I know I'm certain Austin didn't go out there with a malicious intent. He didn't have that. It wasn't preconceived. It wasn't, it wasn't calculated. It was just something he did. Was it inappropriate? That's left for somebody else to judge, not me. If Christy was offended, she should have talked to Austin about it and maybe not let it get blown up. But again, it wasn't really in her hands either. So it was just, I think it's something that should have been discussed with the individuals that it affected, that being Austin and Christy, long before anyone of TNA, the office, the internet got involved. The internet has a tendency to blow things way out of proportion, which is again what happened here. I think it's just something that should have been handled between the individuals and just left alone. I mean, I guess it was a slow wrestling news week, and you had to make this 3 seconds of somebody hitting a pose on a corner like newsworthy. But it's in the past, so let's move along.
Let's go back to this Sunday. Outside of your guys' match, what's the match you're most looking forward to watch as a fan?
For me, probably Ultimate X. I'm interested to see what Kenny King does, especially with two talented guys like Chris Sabin and Suicide.
Yeah, you know what? Until CD said that, I completely forgot there was an Ultimate X match on the show. That's, being one of the guys, along with CD, one of the guys that pioneered that match, I'm also looking forward to that. And, I'm a big fan of Chris Sabin. I've been in the ring with him many, many times, in fact, in the first ever Ultimate X. And, so I'm really looking forward to what those three are going to bring and how they're going to, how they're going to raise the bar in that particular match. And, other than that, anytime you got Kurt Angle and AJ Styles wrestling, the fan in me is going to really just take that in, because those guys, bring it like very few others do in the business.
Do you guys think the X Division now is better than the X Division when you guys were in it?
I just think it's different. I think that the fact that they've sort of put a rule in place where the all the matches are now 3 ways, there's positives and negatives to that. I feel like it certainly makes the matches stand apart, but at the same time, there's a restriction there that the competitors have to sort of work around as they go, further down the line in the X Division. But it's a testament to the talents of the guys that are in the X Division to try and keep making these matches seem fresh and work around what has been laid out as far as a blueprint for their matches from now on.
Yeah, I think the X Division has evolved, good, bad, or indifferent. That's up to the individual to determine. I like seeing a mix of guys in there. I love the fact that, Petey Williams and Chris Sabin are back, and, guys like Sanjay Dutt, and I like seeing the new faces that have come along, like guys like Kenny King, who's tremendously talented, and, Zema Ion, who is also tremendously talented, and also want him to get well soon. And please donate if you can. Yeah, I just like seeing a mix of X Division veterans and X Division newcomers. It's always I think it's keeping it very fresh, and I think it's a much needed shot in the arm to the X Division.
So let's venture off and to go to the Thursday show. What do you think? And Daniels, will start with you since Kaz was the last one to talk. What do you guys think is missing for TNA to really make a jump in the business in terms of comparing viewers on Monday to viewers on Thursday?
I just think it's a matter of time. I mean, you look at the World Wrestling Federation or the World Wrestling Entertainment, and they've been firmly entrenched in their spot for many, 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 many years. And our company's 11 years old. So I think it's just a matter of time before, slowly but surely we're adding fans, we're getting people aware of our product. And I think it's very rare that you get people that are sampling our product that decide not to continue to watch it. It's just a matter of getting them involved and getting them emotionally invested in our product. So it's just, I think, the more we go out and do, as we travel around the United States, we try and get more and more wrestling fans aware that there is a second show, that there is another company other than WWE. And, if we can get them to sample a product and see that our in-ring product is the top product, I think we're going to get more and more fans sort of sticking around and watching to see what unfolds.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Product awareness, and the obvious, TNA is just turning 11 years old, so we're not even a teenager yet. So, and then the other company is many, 50, 60 years old, and we're an alternative to them. We offer something a little bit different in terms of our in-ring style and just the presentation. And you know what? It's one of those things. It's wrestling fans. They have a tendency to dwell on the negative and talk about what this place is doing wrong, or what that's doing wrong, or why this place is not as good as this place. And as a wrestling fan, I don't see any reason not to watch those shows. When I was growing up, I loved watching WWF Raw and WCW Nitro. So, but I mean, we're as a company still trying to get, that product recognition out there, and still trying to blow TNA up to where WWE is. It's the monster. It's the machine that it's been for many years. And I think TNA is still doing a tremendous job at that, and have proved a lot of people wrong by staying in business as long as we have.
Yeah, because I think the internet had you guys on life support, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. You guys, and that's like
since 2003. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the internet seems to ride TNA's ass, but if you really look at it, the show has been on longer than Nitro. The company's lasted longer than ECW has. So, I mean, you guys got to be doing something right.
We're doing all right, man. Like I said, it's just a matter of time, I think. And, where ECW and Nitro had their successes, we've also had our successes. We were just talking about this in a previous interview. We've slowly but surely been building our way up. We started with those weekly pay-per-views. We got to the show where we were on Fox Sports Net. We changed over to Spike. We wanted a primetime spot. We wanted 2 hours. We wanted to go live. And we did all of those things within 10 years. And now, we just started taking the show on the road. And, this is the first time that we've been in a lot of these markets. And, we've had nothing but success so far. And I think it's something that's going to continue to build and continue to grow as we continue moving on. And I mean, I know Frankie and myself, we're doing our part. We're still the most entertaining tag team in the company, in the business, in the planet. So, I mean, all we got to do is let people know if they want to watch the best team in the world, we're on Impact every week.
So the pay-per-view is Sunday. Kaz, I'll start with you. Tell us 3 reasons, and try not to include yourself, on why people should order the pay-per-view.
3 reasons on why people should order the pay-per-view. Well, number 1, you get to see Bad Influence, most importantly. And
Yes.
Anytime you see Bad Influence, we're going to do nothing but entertain. And we're going to have the best match on the show, and we're going to bring what we do to the masses. So that actually will count for 3 of them, but I'll still give you 2 more. I'll give you another one, the return of the Ultimate X match, the return of guys like Chris Sabin and Suicide. That match is brand unique to TNA, and you won't see it anywhere else. It's very, very special. It's one of those matches where it's high risk, high reward, and anything can happen. And there's always that element of surprise and of mystique to that match. And number 3, perhaps you can see Sting defeat Bully Ray and win the TNA title again, and end the reign of terror that the evil aces and eights guys have reigned on our company. So there's my 3.
And I'll give you 2 more. First of all, if you stay at home and you order the pay-per-view and you order a pizza, you'll be helping to support a young pizza delivery guy and his quest to get his college degree. Any tips that you give him will help. He needs to get a job. He needs to make that money, because you know how much college costs these days, right, folks? Right? And the 5th and final reason is, if you're in your house enjoying Slammiversary inside the comfort of your own home, you are less likely to A, be hit by a car, B, be struck by lightning, or C, be a victim of a horrible, horrible traffic accident. Now, if those aren't enough reasons for you, I'm not sure what to tell you, folks.
I'm already convinced. I'm buying it. I have to buy it now.
course.
I don't want to die. I'm going to be afraid to leave the house now on Sunday.
Your safety is tantamount to buying the
Well,
pay-per-view.
let's as a disclaimer, a car could still drive through your front door. You could get struck by lightning while sitting on your couch. So, I don't want Chris Daniels or myself to be held liable if these things happen to
That's
anybody
true.
sitting at home watching the pay-per-view.
If you have a metal roof, if you live inside a weather vane or a lightning rod, all of those claims are null and void. So,
Right.
you're on your own.
All right, well, and one last thing before I let you guys go, because I know you guys got to go. Daniels, do you miss Chicago? Because we kind of miss you. You cut your teeth here way back when. You miss the city of Chicago?
I will say that I miss the wrestling fans. Yeah, I know. I let them grow in, but then I had them filed down so that they were sharp, so I could bite people if I had to. But I will say that I do miss the wrestling fans there. I'm glad that TNA chose Chicago to do the first live show, and I hope that we get a chance to come back to the market because, as you could tell by the reaction when we walked down the ramp, they do love us.
We do. We do love you in Chicago. So
Of course.
I appreciate you guys coming on, and good luck Sunday. Good health, good match.
Don't need it.
Well, you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
Good luck. Right.
Thanks for coming on, guys. I appreciate it.
You need luck. Yep.
All right, ta-ta.
All right, bye-bye.